This is a good question. A spicy meatball here, Al. Um, this is from Julia Wilson. Which would you have preferred? Echoes of Wisdom or Tears of the Kingdom DLC? That's a great
Um,
question. What a
yeah.
hmm.
It's kind of funny because I think the last time we talked about DLC, I was saying the longer we get away from it, the more I feel regret that we don't have DLC. But now
Hmm.
I think I've turned around because they turned around with the Zelda game so quickly because I was thinking it was going to be another couple years. And and I know that I've said in the past, like I can go 10 years without a brand new Zelda game, but I knew there would be stuff to hold us over. So I feel like now that we're here and we've had a new Zelda game announced, DLC is so far out of my mind. Like I feel like I've had my run with Tears of the Kingdom. I will continue to play it in the future, but I'm glad that we're moving forward and we're going on to something different because not only did we like have Tears of the Kingdom for the last year and a half, but we also had 7 years of Breath of the Wild and they're pretty similar.
Yeah.
So I feel I'm really ready and I'm really excited that we're moving on. I don't feel like before I was like, yeah, I really wanted DLC, but now I'm like, no, I don't need it. Oh, you're
If
gonna disagree with me.
you know what? No, I don't think I am. I don't think I'm going to
Okay.
disagree with you. If it's a one or
Okay.
the other, I'm going to pick Echoes of Wisdom.
Hmm.
If it's a yeah, you know what? No, I'm going to stick with what I was going to say. If it's a one or the other, I'm going to pick Echoes of Wisdom. Um, I do agree with you. I think that Echoes of Wisdom coming out so soon after Tears of the Kingdom it helps with that for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's not out of the realm of possibility here that um, I mean, it would be a little bit longer, but like Echoes of Wisdom is coming out roughly when Tears of the Kingdom DLC might have been coming out. Maybe it'd be coming out a little bit sooner, but we're talking maybe a couple months difference, whatever.
Right.
So really, it's kind of like one or the other. I think I was ready to move on. I think I was ready to move on from the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Hyrule. That being said, I do think that like DLC would have been good for that game because I think that there is definitely some things there that you could do that you could tell. Like I was interested in hearing about the like the dragons, like where the original dragons came from. I thought that that might be where they were going to go. And they could still tell that story. They could revisit that if they ever do that Age of Upheaval or Hyrule Warriors,
Hmm.
whatever game. I think that you could certainly do that. Um, so in that sense, I'm okay with them moving on. I I don't know. I think the reason that I kind of wanted DLC and not to get into this again, but like I did feel just like a little bit wanting from Tears of the Kingdom. It's not. I don't think it's going to go down as one of my favorite games in the series. Unfortunately, actually, maybe kind of the other way. But
Hmm.
I and I don't know if DLC would have done anything to reverse that or not. To be fair, but I do think that if it was one or the other, I'll take I'll take the new Zelda game. I think I'll always pretty much take new over old. Generally, not old, but you know what I mean. Like generally speaking,
Yeah. Fair enough.
it does still feel like there's something there though in Tears of the Kingdom, but at the same time, I am ready to move on to something
Yes.
new. It's been a long time.
Same.
Well, actually, okay. So let's keep on this train, and a great segue. This is from Julia Wilson. Um, would you buy Tears of the Kingdom DLC if it only contained Master Mode?
Oh, no.
Eh, no way. Hey, you know what? Let's just say hypothetically that it costs $5. Okay, I'd buy it for $5, but that would never happen. Adriel's mom's dropping bombs in our chat. Tears of the Kingdom is the DLC for Breath of the Wild. I think a lot of people feel like that, like
Yeah.
and I'm not here to tell people that they're wrong to feel like that. I don't know if I necessarily agree, but I don't really disagree either. So, to answer the question here, if it just contained Master Mode, no, I wouldn't buy it. I'd
I
buy it for a
literally
couple bucks. That's it.
I honestly I don't like playing master mode anything. I don't like playing master quest. I don't like it where it's like to the point where I'm suffering and I'm not really enjoying playing because it's so hard.
Might as well
Like
just be playing Elden Ring and hating your life.
yeah, yeah. You know what? Even quite recently, I think there was a point where I was like, I always have to play on normal mode because otherwise I'm not going to experience this game as much as I like to.
Yeah.
But then I started playing on easy mode with Forbidden West, and I was like, these games are still difficult, but they're just a little bit easier in combat, and everything is still pretty much the same. So I just started playing all my games on easy mode, and I enjoy it immensely because I'm not suffering and I'm not getting ragey and quitty with any of my games anymore. So that's how I feel about that. I would never just buy something with just master mode. I'd be like, nah, that's somebody else's pain and suffering.
Yeah, I agree. Let me launch into a story here, Al. So 2 weeks ago, we're having a family dinner. I might have even told this story before, so if I did, just shut me up. But like, so I'm sitting at the table with my brother-in-law, and we're talking about Elden Ring because the new DLC is coming out, and my brother-in-law is talking about it, and he's a fan of Elden Ring, and I was like, you know what, I wish that they would release as new content is like an easy mode or like a, you know what I mean, a no die mode, some kind of mode for a schmuck like me who's not very good at that game. And he was like, well, it's just part of the game. You got to be good at it. And I was like, well, yeah, but like imagine how many people that want to play this game or you know what I mean, like don't because of that. Like, why wouldn't you just do it and make your game as accessible as you can? And we started talking about some other games, and he starts talking about Hades, which I don't know if you played or not, but it's an amazing game. Now, the thing about Hades was I started playing it, and I struggled, and I was ready to shut it off and not come back to it. But then I activated God mode, and God mode is not quite easy mode because you can still die. It's still tough, but you keep a lot more of your power-ups, and that completely changed the game for me. And when Hades 2 comes to Switch, that's how I'm going to start playing it day one. And he was like, I didn't know it had that mode. And I was like, yeah, it did. And it made it accessible for a guy like me. And now I love that. Like, it's one of the best games I've played in the last, like, 10 years. And all because it had an easy mode. Because if it didn't, I was like, this is it's too difficult for me. I got fat thumbs and you know, arthritis in my fingers coming here in the next couple of years. Like, I need to have easy mode, man.
Yeah.
And so they had it, and it was great. And I wish that a lot of those games that kind of sell themselves as being these like really difficult experiences would just put that in, because like you don't lose anything by having that. It's not like you lose credibility with your fans by having easy mode. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, it just makes it more accessible for everybody because not everybody can have, you know, the skills or the movement or the whatever that you need to play good games fast and well. And sometimes I just want to take my time, learn as I go, have easier combat, but it's just challenging enough where I'm like, that was really fun and I enjoyed. Sorry, I'm like yelling. I'm getting heated about this topic. But like, I was just like, why not? Why is it so hard to just let other people play the games as they would like to and as they feel comfortable with? Because I know I've been told by several people how I can make Elden Ring easier for myself. I'm never going to touch it again. I'm so sorry that I feel that way. But I don't care for that. So if they do have an easy mode, I would care for it more.
I still sometimes peruse the comments of the episode that we did about Elden Ring on YouTube. People, hey, you know, fair enough, but like people were like, "This guy sucks." He played like the first hour and a half of the game, which is not true. I played like 20 hours of the game, but like they're like, this guy barely even got to like not even the first dungeon. He's dumping all over the game, and I was like, you know what? Maybe you're right, but like, it's because I couldn't even get to the first dungeon. So yeah, people hated our Elden Ring opinions.
Oh, well.
That's okay. Well, I'll tell you what. How about this next one here, Al? You ready for this?
Oh my god.
This was sent down from the heavens and gifted for me specifically. This is from Shakel. Thank you, Shakel, for this. Which Zelda game has the worst opening?
Oh my god. What is the answer inside the article? What is Shakel's
Well, the
answer?
feature image has Midna in it, which tells you all you need to know.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it's too easy. It's too easy. But here I go, because I think it's been a while and everyone wants to hear this. The worst opening in the Zelda series by a New York mile, and it's not even close. And I'm going to touch on this after the fact, but it's not even close, is Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess opening is just miserable. It's miserable. And before I continue, I want to just point something out here because I see a lot of comments in here, and people are just like, you know what, Twilight Princess is the worst opening. It's a miserable experience. But you know what's not too far behind it is Skyward Sword. And let me tell you something about Skyward Sword's intro. Okay, I find that like offensive almost that people are lumping these two together because one of them is so much more miserable than the other that it's not even close. Like in Skyward Sword, what you do, you meet up with Zelda, you find Groose, you do the sword tutorial, you fly around, and I'm not going to suggest that it's a short jaunt to the first dungeon, but there's a lot of story, there's a lot of world building, a lot of stuff like that, characters that matter, characters that mean something to the story. Okay, there's a lot of, and by the way, it's also teaching you things that you need to do in the game, like fly and other I don't know, use your sword or whatever. But like, it probably takes you like maybe an hour, maybe that. Now, Twilight Princess, okay, Twilight Princess, you start off. There's a long cutscene. You have to go and find your horse. You have to herd goats. Just a miserable experience there. Yeah, you go to the slingshot. You buy. You get your slingshot. Oh, and before you even get the slingshot, you have to do the whole hawk deal and the hawk gimmick and get the cradle back from the monkeys and you got to go find rupees and you're probably mashing like bee nests for that and you got to herd goats again, which is great. And then you go into the Twilight. Then you have to chase the kids. Then you have to go and do like more things and you finally meet Midna. Oh, and don't forget you have to do that. You have to do that fine stealth mission where you're at the wolf at night and you sneak into Russell's miserable house and steal his shield. Like, it's just like, it is so long. It's so long. If you are playing Twilight Princess for the first time, I guarantee you're spending at least 2 hours in Ordon Village and then in the Twilight Realm before you ever hit the Forest Temple. Ever. Like, it is just a... Oh my god, I feel like you're keeping count, but like it is just a miserable experience here. Like that is, oh my god, it you know it is not even close. Skyward Sword, I actually think the intro is fine. If I were to give another Zelda intro that's even close to being as miserable as Twilight Princess's, I might suggest that it is. Nothing else is even in the same league. To be honest,
I can't think of anything else that really comes up. I think it's definitely a matter of opinion. Also, guess how many times you said miserable?
5.
8. By my count. Somebody else can double check. I think it's definitely a matter of opinion because I feel like people do learn things from the intro of Twilight Princess, like how to ride your horse, how to jump on fences, the herding goats comes back to you in the future, doesn't it? I think so.
It does. Yeah, you herd goats twice and then a third time if you want to.
Mm-hmm. And then the fishing, because you have to do you have to fish? You do have to fish.
You have to fish? You have to catch a fish for the cat?
I haven't played this in so long, and I know I just listened to you rant, but I was mostly just listening for the word miserable, but... And then you get the slingshot, and then you also get the wooden sword, so the kids are like, oh, teach us how to use it. So there's your tutorial there. I think what makes it personally miserable is how long it is, because I feel like it is...
Yeah.
I feel like the intro is honestly until you are turned back into Link, I think, after being a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Skyward Sword does have a long intro, but I definitely think what you're learning is like more suited for your adventure because you're learning more about the motion controls. You're learning more about the weird controls with the Wii remote, and the different like the stamina, which is new. And yeah, you're learning a lot more, and it's a lot more important to your adventure than a lot of the stuff that you're learning in the Twilight Princess intro.
Plus, you interact with Zelda and Link and Groose, characters that you actually like. And Fi and the Red Loftwing. In the Twilight Princess intro, you're interacting with those 3 little gremlin kids who all have weird heads. You're interacting with a goat. You're interacting with a fish and a cat in order to do your thing. And you're interacting with a hawk. Good stuff. And then you're interacting with... well, I guess with Midna too, and people will say that they love Midna, and that's fine. But my point is like you're totally right. What you do in the Skyward Sword intro is far more pertinent to your game's experience than what you do in the rest of the intro for Twilight Princess. I think if I was to actually pick a second place game, I think I'd pick the Wind Waker. I think I'd pick the Wind Waker, but it's a distant second.
I feel like that's weird. That intro was so quick though. Like, what are you considering the intro of that game?
I would consider the intro basically up until you get to Forsaken Fortress. Is that fair?
Oh, Forsaken Fortress. Okay, yeah, that's still really quick. All you do is get a sword and a shield, and that's it.
Yeah, like it's not long. Like it's a distant second. I feel like that would be for me what I would consider maybe the second. I can't even say worse. It's like it takes a little bit to get to the action in that game. But even then, like even that, you're meeting like what you do before then is fun. You meet the pirates, you meet the world, grandma. Like
that's important.
You know what's really funny here? I see a couple people said that Ocarina of Time has the worst intro. That to me,
the Deku Tree real quick, like you. What?
Yeah, you know what that is? That's people that are sick of like Ocarina of Time being the best Zelda ever rated on our list, and are just like, you know what? I'm tired of this game.
That's weird.
Because like that intro is crisp, crisp. And one person said that it was just like it was too quick and went straight to the action without any story or anything like that. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. And if you really wanted to argue it, you could maybe argue that the true intro for Ocarina of Time doesn't end until after you meet Zelda for the first time, which in that point, there's a lot of story. And even then, I think it's like really quick, really solid.
Yeah. Still pretty quick. That you can get that, well, again,
definitely within an hour.
I'm speaking as a person that, kind of quote-unquote speedruns it, but even still, since it's been some odd years since that game came out, people have played it over and over again. You kind of know how to run through it a little bit more quicker now. You need the 40 rupees. You go straight to the Deku Tree. You go straight to Zelda. Mm-hmm. Therefore, that intro is pretty quick and pretty painless.
Hey everyone! If you enjoyed this clip and want to see more of the Zelda cast, make sure to head over to your favorite podcast platform of choice and subscribe. There are over 200 episodes in the vault that will provide you with hundreds of hours of Zelda content for you to enjoy. You can listen to us when you're on a walk, fighting Ganon, trying to sleep, whatever. And if you want to see these shows as they happen, make sure to head over to twitch.tv/TheZeldaCast, where you can watch our beautiful faces talk about Zelda every single week. Don't miss out, and we'll see you next time.